This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is The Burning Stars. It was written by David Conyers, and it can be found in Terrors from Beyond. I'm the Keeper of Arcane Lore, and this is Episode 5. A recap will be given by Carrie Marion as her character, Donna Sterling. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Carrie?
It's been 2 days. 2 days now since we woke up here in this godforsaken place. My memories are vague and shrouded in mist. How can we have been here for over a week and not remember any of it? And Jack, my poor Jack, out there somewhere lost and alone and maybe as confused as we are. My brother needs me and I feel helpless against this tide that seems to pull us all under every time we get close to remembering something. Voodoo, cults, some dark power that feels like it's controlling us. Have we ever been in control? It feels cyclical, like some great sphere we are turning round and around, constantly repeating ourselves, constantly questioning our every move. Daddy keeps up appearances and acts like he has everything under control, but I know that's not true. We're playing someone else's game. A terrible, cruel game that I cannot even remember starting. Amy and I found another one of those blasphemous tarot cards at the library, the Hanged Man, tucked in a book called Africa's Dark Sex. Amy's handwriting was in that book. Notes of things we had yet to do or even discover. The passage it marked described some horrendous ritual of human sacrifice and an inhuman presence that was a vessel for some dark creature that desired to be free, just like the one described by Dr. Northeast. Her notes also referenced the star pools, the floating horror cult, and a mysterious person named Senegal, on whom we should seek for assistance. I shudder as I read this, thinking of my Jack. Finding nothing else, we decided to leave and catch up with the others, but upon exiting the library door, we came out onto an unfamiliar street, surrounded by shops, and the library had completely vanished. Across the way, we spotted my father, Mr. O'Neill, and the two detectives. Our eyes locked, and they were filled with just as much surprise to see us as us them. I felt sick. I could barely catch my breath. It was like one unnatural thing after another kept happening to us, and I felt I was unraveling. We needed to get out of the street to discuss what we had learned and decided to go to a local restaurant. Daddy and the others had just come from Mama Josephine's and said this cult had Jack, and it may be too late for him. I couldn't believe it. I wouldn't. They too were told by Josephine that this Sebastian Senegal, the leader of the rebels, could help us. This man had delivered her the 10 of Wands card to give to them. The hills were to be our destination, and where the confrontation would take place. It was at this time I noticed a strange green and black stone hanging from my father's neck. It was so similar to the ones described in the passage about the sacrificial ritual. I questioned Daddy about it, but he nonchalantly brushed it off and said Mama Josephine gave it to him as a symbol to blend in with the cultists. Daddy may have had a silver tongue with anyone else, but I could always tell when he was keeping something from me. I don't know what he's hiding, but I know it's nothing good. After our meal, I managed to talk the others into visiting the Grand Cemetery. At this point, I didn't know who we could trust, and if Baron Samedi, the Lord of the Dead, was the one that marked us, then maybe we could find him there and get his help. When we arrived, There were many people meandering through the tombs dressed in white, black, and purple garb. It wasn't long before Detective Dirk noticed a tall man dressed in a black suit, top hat, cane, and white painted face staring at us from the shadows. Mr. O'Neill tipped his hat at the man and he laughed and then disappeared behind the tomb. We all hurried after, but he was gone. I felt we had to pursue this man and immediately started looking for him. About 30 feet in the distance, I spotted him again. He disappeared into the crowd, and by this time the others had followed suit and were actively looking for him. We now were seeing Baron Samedis all around us and realized we'd been chasing men dressed in costume for the holiday. Feeling quite sheepish at our mistake, we started winding our way back out of the cemetery. Amy had taken the lead, and by the time we caught up to her, she was standing stark still in front of a tomb. She appeared to have white powder all over her face. As she went to brush some of the powder off, all of a sudden she had the Ten of Swords tarot card in her hand. Quite flummoxed and frankly exhausted, our party headed back to the Olafson for the night. Every time I closed my eyes, the image of the man in the black suit stayed, his smile mocking me. Sleep came slowly but eventually. Or did it? For I woke up in that dark labyrinth once again with the others. We walked again, this time in the opposite direction than in the last dream. It seemed like we trudged for hours through the black sand in this midnight place, making one turn only to come to another. At this point, I began to shake with tremendous fear and confusion. I started calling out for Jack. Detective Guy was even having to give a pep talk to Dr. Dirk to calm his nerves. Daddy decided we should try to look over the looming wall to get our bearings, and the group began to form a pyramid to boost him up high enough to peer over. When he descended, he appeared quite pale and shaken. He described seeing a black sun, black stars, endless black on black in this never-ending labyrinth. He did see a beach and began leading us in its direction. After a while, we turned a corner, and then there it was, a black, endless beach and a dark, glassy ocean somehow reflecting the black stars. In the distance, we could see cooking fires and what could be a jungle in the background, with 3 primitive huts just sitting there with a strange sunlight glow emitting from their entrances. Their arrangement made me think of the eyes of that thing on the card, placed in almost a perfect triangle. From one of the huts, a figure emerged, bathed in this unearthly light. It began walking in our direction, and as it approached, we could make out it was that thing, that creature from the tarot card. It must have been 9 feet tall, and in place of a head was just a skull containing 3 eyes. In a strange, almost alien voice in my head, I heard it say, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom." With this, I awoke, drenched in cold sweat and still feeling like sleep was taken from me once again. I rolled over, tears streaming down my face, and whispered, "Jack, where are you?"
Excellent. And as we ended it, Dirk and Guy Randall wake up. Where was Jack staying?
Not looked into that yet, where he was staying?
Can't believe we overlooked it. It seems like I guess we've been so concerned with self-preservation and trying to figure out
Yeah. I
what's
think,
going on with us that I think, yeah, it was a big clue right under our nose. Where was he staying?
yeah, I think you hit it there. I think we have been focused a little much on ourselves and not kind of, I mean, not what we're here for, you know. And had we been focused on that a little more than me creating animosity with the Sterlings, we might have asked that question a lot sooner. But
Well, I think it was we didn't have a choice given the lack of information, and
yeah,
then it finally coming into focus. We adjusted, we
yeah,
pivoted. It's the best we can do.
yeah. So
All
I think
right.
that's gonna be our first start. I'm gonna go back through our notes just to make sure. I don't think we missed anything, but I'm gonna go back through our notes to make sure we didn't pin that down already. But I think I think we could probably ask Mr. Sterling if he where he thinks Jack might have stayed since he was seemingly down here on a business deal.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we can't blame ourselves too much if his own dad didn't think about it.
That's true. So yeah, I flipped through our notes, and I don't think anything was in there about where we may have discovered this earlier. So what is it, the
Nothing in your notes.
middle of the night or coming
No,
on
it's
to the
morning.
morning? Okay. Then yeah, I guess we're across the hall and knocking on the door.
Yep.
All right. So you knock on the door. Whose door are you knocking on? Sterling's?
Yeah, Sterling's. Yeah.
Gentlemen, come in.
Good
Please
morning.
have a seat.
Good
morning.
morning, gentlemen.
Hope you all slept well.
I think we all were in the
Oh.
same place. I don't think
Yeah.
we slept well at all.
Yeah. So Guy and myself had a realization this morning that we honestly should have had a little while ago. We realized we haven't not looked into where Jack was staying when he was down here. Do you have any idea where he might have? I mean, did y'all?
Oh, I can't believe we didn't think of that before. But, good for you,
Yeah.
gentlemen. Good for you.
Yeah.
I see why I
I should've
hired
thought
you
of that.
now.
It seems
Yeah,
like
that sounds like something we should find out. I guess the first place would to check the hotel down to see if he was staying here.
yeah. Yeah, that's probably a good start.
I have
And
no
then
idea that nothing. I remember nothing about not even the deal with the Navy that I had. I remember nothing about Haiti. So if Jack was here, he had to be staying somewhere. That
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. And logically, it would seem he might be here.
yeah, I guess we start here, and then if it's not here,
My only concern, sir, do you suppose any chance he would have signed in under an alias of some kind?
that's possible. I mean, do you know
Well,
if
I
he
wouldn't-
would have had an
wouldn't have.
alias?
I wouldn't think so. But it's certainly possible.
Yeah.
Maybe
Or
that's
as-
why the desk clerk was looking at us funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think we start there. Maybe one of you all start there because we kind of have a reputation with the clerk, it seems.
I can look
So-
into that for you.
And then
Gentlemen, I'm actually really glad you came over because I wanted to talk to you with Mr. Sterling here. It makes it even easier. As you well understand, because you were with him when you talked to the voodoo priestess, Mr. Sterling's future might be a little bit in doubt with what we're dealing with with the upcoming situation. Mr. Sterling, please forgive me for bringing this up, but
I've
we're
been
most
thinking about that too, Sean.
yes, we're most concerned about the safety of Miss Sterling and Miss Lachlan, what happens moving forward. And what I think might happen is if things go the way they might go, is that she might present herself and put herself into more danger than she should, especially given that Mr. Sterling might not make it.
Well, I've been meaning to have a talk with my daughter. I have to
Yeah.
tell her a few things, but I was thinking,
So-
I know the situation with the arms and everything could get me in trouble. I'm not worried about that now. We need to talk to Senegal and use whatever we have. But at the
But
same time, I
Well,
wondered-
Mr. Sterling, what I'd like these two gentlemen to hopefully agree to is that if things do go south, which as they're prone to do, that we focus everything else being equal on getting Miss Sterling and Miss Lachlan out there alive,
Oh,
regardless
agreed.
of what their desires are in that.
Agreed. I told
So-
Sean last night that I'm not even a thought. My daughter and her friend's safety are paramount.
So,
I don't
gentlemen,
think-
if you can
I don't
help
think
us
we
with
can help
that.
Jack anymore. It might be too late for him, but my children come first. Right now, my Donna and her friend Amy, we need to protect them. I don't care what happens to me anymore. I want my daughter safe, and I need your help with that as well. And I know you're from a reputable firm, and I trust you guys now. I know it was rough at first, but
Well,
How much do you want Donna to know? Because I think a certain amount of information to a point, like we do have an extraction plan for you. So I believe that should be the basis that we are operating on, of
Yes.
that we plan on getting you out, even though we know how grim it is looking. we still have a plan to extract you. I think that should be something Donna is aware of.
Yes.
And that you are in a little more danger. I think telling her the truth about the stone would be a good thing. That way she's not caught off guard and reacts.
I want to have that conversation with her today privately. Dreams they just convinced me otherwise. I mean, I was thinking I wanted to put her and Amy on a plane out of here, but they're in this. They are in this just as much as each one of us is. There's only one way out of this. And they can't leave. I mean, they need to be here, which it's killing me. But
considering they're the brains of the operation, yeah, you're right.
But when push comes to shove in the end game, gentlemen, I mean, things may not go well for Mr. Sterling and or myself, and so getting those two out alive will then be the priority. If you guys understand that.
I understand that. Yep. I mean, my plan is to get us all out, get through this, all of us get back to life. But I understand what you're saying, and I think that's something that we can prioritize should the need come.
Okay.
I will be talking with Donna. She needs to know. She's an adult. She's a bright young woman. And she needs all the information, just like each of us do, to be able to, so that we can protect ourselves better. So,
if Donna and Amy agree, at that point, you probably knock on the door and come in.
I'll open the door for them.
Oh, you're all up.
good morning, Princess. Good morning, Miss Lackland.
Good morning, Mr. Sterling.
I feel very unrested. I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm not all here.
Well, we were all in the same place again, and we're all feeling pretty much the same. Donna, I was hoping to have a private word with you before we continue about what we're doing and trying to stop this cult. But I do need to talk to you.
Mr. Sterling, I'll go and I'll look into Jack's whereabouts at different hotels, perhaps. I'll go off and do that then.
Oh,
Okay.
Mr. O'Neill, could you also check and see if there's been any word from Mother? I'm getting worried.
Yes, if there's been any calls. Okay, I'll go down to the front desk and ask about that as well. All right. So I head off.
Excuse myself over to my room to just kind of get prepared for the day.
Excuse myself and see myself out.
Miss Lackland, you may as well say what the thing that's ever since the beginning of this was the lack of sharing information, because we're all confused, and now it's become very clear that we all need to know what's going on to be on the same page, just for your safety. Now, Donna, you need to realize that your safety, you are my child. Your safety is the most important thing to me. So, I mean, I would love to put you on the next boat out of here, but I don't think that's possible just because we're all in this. We are all having the same experience. I think we all do need to be here.
Well, somehow our fates have all been entwined in this, and I don't exactly understand why this is happening to us, but I do feel that we need to stick together.
Well, there's something I need to tell you. Both of you need to know this. When we met with Madame Josephine yesterday, came up with a couple of options for us to battle this cult. We needed a way to get in where we would not be. We could approach without them sensing us as being not part of the cult. And
yes, you said the stone would let them know that you're one of them.
And I'm holding it like by the chain it's on or whatever it's on. Like don't touch it either. You don't ever touch it. Okay. This is the stone that we read about, and I had to become part of this. Apparently, Jack has touched this same stone, and the same thing happened prior to him. Well, I cut myself with the stone, just like in the story, too.
Oh no! Why? Why would you do that?
Because it makes my blood seem familiar. or similar to this crawling chaos, this lurker creature who is also the crawling chaos. So I could pass unnoticed amongst them. And I show them my left hand, and the black scales start to form, just like in the story. And
Oh my
however,
God.
Madame Josephine was able to give me a potion that will the terrible change or whatever this thing does, it's going to put it off for a few days. And then once we take care of the cult, she is promised to help me to get out of this curse. We're not sure if we can do the same for Jack, but this at least, I'm not going to be affected like Jack was. Just enough to get us in where we need to be. And I
Well,
need you to
maybe
know
she
this.
has a potion for Jack too.
I hope so. I hope that we can do that. I mean, my goal is to get Jack, but the more I'm learning, the more I think it might be too late for him, because he didn't have the potion when he cut his hand with this stone. I don't want you touching it ever, either of you. Is that clear? No matter what happens, if there's a second chance, something happens to me, do not use this stone. Please, promise me.
No, I wouldn't. But why would Jack voluntarily cut himself with it?
I don't know. These are the answers we have to find. But I want you to know, Amy, if we get out of this, if for some miracle I survive, I want you to know I'm going to change my ways. I am going to take our family. We are no longer going to be in the armament business. I promise you that. It's going to be off of our out. I'm going to spend more time doing philanthropic sort of work. I mean, I want to give back. I've caused too much destruction in this world. Now I'm destroying my family. Well, if I get out of this, I promise you that we will never sell another arm to any legally or behind the scenes or anything. I promise you that. And I'm hoping you'll help me. I'm thinking about these poor people in Haiti here. Maybe we could set something up and help relieve some of the poverty that we see here. And I'm hoping you'll help me with that. You're a brilliant young woman.
Well, that's a wonderful idea, but the situation that we're in, that seems so far in the distance. I can't even fathom reaching it right now.
No, but we need hope. What we don't have, we have we're getting the pieces, and puzzle is coming together, but the one piece we don't have is hope. We need something. So getting our family right again.
I don't know, Amy. What do you think about? I just don't know anymore. Do you have any idea why Jack would do this to himself? Or do you think they forcibly made him cut himself with the stone? I don't understand.
I'm hoping he didn't make the choice himself.
I don't know either, but I think I heard the detectives mentioning locating his room. Maybe we'll find some more answers there, how he got wrapped up in all of this. Let me just say, Mr. Sterling, I'll try and do what I can to keep Donna safe. And it does you great credit that you value your family more than your riches. The same couldn't be said for every entrepreneur. So,
well, Donna is a brilliant young woman, and she's got excellent taste in friends. Thank you.
I'm worried about Mother. I'm worried that we haven't heard from her.
Hopefully we'll hear something. I hope she does. I hope she's out of this. I hope she's at least one of us has some peace of mind. And
does she even know that we're here?
I don't know. She called.
I can't remember.
I don't remember the call. I don't know if I took it or we missed it. I have no idea. Every time I try to find out, it's 2 hours later.
Sean, you go downstairs. And as you go downstairs, you start to approach the concierge, and he's doing something, as you approach, and as you lean up to the counter, he catches you out of the corner of his eye and visibly jumps back. and with a look of, I mean, you could say terror, at least a little bit of terror in his eyes. Wide-eyed, he looks at you and he's like, yes, sir, can I help you? Well, he's saying this in French. Oui, monsieur, can I help you?
I'll try to minimize the conversation as much as possible. First off, I need to know if we had any calls come from and the phone number that Mrs. Sterling would be calling from in the last how many days?
No phone calls.
Nothing has come in? Because I know we
Nothing.
put an outbound request for a connection with your line there. So nothing's happened, I see.
Nothing.
All right. I'll then describe what Jack would normally look like, because he has some outstanding features in terms of his height and his looks, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah, you give him a. There is the place where you signed in the book. No, that's
Oh,
right
I'll
there.
look through the register and see if I see his signature, his handwriting at least, even if it's not his name. 'Cause I know
Um, yeah, I think without any difficulty, you identify. He signed his name as Jack Sterling, and he signed in on the 3rd
on the
of
third,
October, and he's staying in room 104.
and he's never signed out, clearly. Um, okay,
He's
well,
paid. He's paid through the month.
right. I'll explain to the concierge that since Jack is part of our party, I would like the room key, please.
He looks at you like, I thought we went over this, but he'll turn around and he'll get the key. Says, here you are, sir. And he pushes it towards you on the counter like he's afraid of you. He's afraid of you.
Sometimes good things come in scary packages. I'll take the key. Don't always be afraid of what you see. And I'll head upstairs.
Dirk and Guy, what were you going to do? Oh, you went back to your room?
Yeah, just fresh, getting dressed, making sure guns are all ready,
Okay. So you probably hear Sean coming up the stairs.
Yeah.
Well, if I see them, I'll signal to them, but I don't know if I see them visually.
Yeah, I think probably when I hear somebody coming up, it's only one of a few people, so I'll probably poke my head out and see if it's Sean.
I'll shake the key and look at it and then head upstairs.
It's just next door, actually.
Oh, it's just next door, right? So I got to get used to the layout.
So right under our noses, huh?
Yep. You gentlemen want to come in with me? Take a look.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you make a little bit of commotion so everybody becomes aware of what you've got.
Okay.
All right. You go to room 104 and you open it up. The room is very neat, very clean. Obviously, the staff have been coming in here and cleaning. The bed is made. Everything is neat and nicely straightened. There are a couple of suitcases that are closed, but you can also see that the wardrobe is open and a couple of Jack's suits are hanging there, and some of he didn't leave it all in his suitcase. He hung stuff up. What do you want to do?
I think I'm gonna start going through if there's bedside drawer or anything, I'm gonna leave his personal belongings for Mr. O'Neill or Mr. Sterling or Donna or Amy to go through and just start canvassing the rest of the room, the bathroom.
I'm gonna look for I'm sorry.
No.
I'm gonna look in the hidden places underneath the mattress, under the bed, behind things, just to kind of see if he was hiding any information that could be.
Sean, James?
I'll open up the suitcases. I'll make sure that James and Donna can see what I'm doing, obviously, and I'll just put stuff aside that is just clothing and stuff and look for anything, notes, papers, anything useful.
Okay.
It's obvious Oni did not get through here.
Yeah, that's obviously that they didn't search the room.
Yeah.
I want to look through some of the pockets of the clothes that are hanging. just see if there's, yeah.
Okay. So we'll start with that. You look through the pockets and things other than looks like maybe a ticket stub for the steamer that he came over on, and a few little things like that. There's nothing. His passport is there, um, but nothing of any significance. Sean, in the suitcase, you find what you expect: another change of shoes, comfortable clothes. Um, he definitely looks like he packed for business.
Right.
Less
Business and not
for
trouble.
business.
Yeah, but not trouble.
Right, not trouble.
Okay.
You also find in there a kind of a billfold that's got, we'll say, $200 in it. It's not. It's like the reserve cash.
Yep.
He wouldn't carry
Yep.
that around with him all the
for
time.
emergencies. So no matchbooks or anything that for a nightclub or any of that sort of stuff. No, okay.
Dirk, you're looking through the drawers and stuff. You don't find anything more than correspondence material and a Gideon Bible, but
I would head to the bathroom after that then.
okay. Guy, as you begin to look in the secret places, the places where you would stash stuff, you almost immediately find under the lip of the bed, there is a handgun.
Okay.
And it is loaded. Looking around a bit more, you find another one up behind his pillow where he would be laying. So he is well protected, I guess.
He was expecting company. And that's what I say
At
that out
any
loud.
time,
Like,
sure.
it's looking like he was expecting something or somebody.
Other than that, you don't find anything. Everything seems to be in order. Dirk, you went into the bathroom. Why did you go into the bathroom?
Just to check, any hiding spots in there. I mean, we found a card, or Mr. Starling found a card,
Right.
so definitely want to check the bathroom.
So you look in there, you look in the little cabinet, you look at all that. Everything seems in order. And just about the time you're getting ready to turn around and walk out of the bathroom, you realize that, I mean, it's the same in your room, but it's kind of a built-in bathtub that's there, and there's the tub, and then there's kind of a wood railing in front of that, and there must be a whole area between that wood paneling and the tub itself where you could hide all sorts of things.
Yeah, I kind of
And
nudge
it
it
seems
with
like
my
exactly the place where you would hide something.
first. I just
You
kind of nudge it, see if it's loose in any way.
you realize that it is loose.
Yeah.
And right inside, you see a rather handsome leather journal that's laying there.
Yeah.
It's got the initials JS on it.
I will get that out, make sure nothing else is in there, and then take it into the room.
Okay.
Like, I found this journal. If you
That
all,
kind of snaps James out of it. James has kind of been letting the professionals do their work, the detectives and Sean, and just kind of been in the room. And he's also at the gravity of the situation. He's looking at his son's jacket. He's seen him in this jacket. He's seen him in that shirt. But with that, it's just the gravity that he may never see his son is really starting to get to him right now. And I think seeing the journal might snap him out of it. We're back on the case, but yeah, he's kind of just been.
It's definitely Jack's taste. His clothes are he has good taste in clothes. He doesn't buy cheap.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. So you take the journal, and you can obviously there's a lot in the journal, but you're only really concerned with the last month.
All right. Friday, October 3rd, 1930. Arrived this morning in Port-au-Prince and secured a room at the Hotel Olafson. Apparently the most famous hotel in Haiti, according to the folks on the ship that I talked to. They're staying at the Prince Hotel. Newer, good views, but cheaper, and apparently shows in the range of their restaurant. Father's instructions are simple. Equipment is already flowing to the armed forces on the ground here. Further profits can be made by selling to the cacao rebels. Just need to be able to sell to more than one group. This faction has been behind rebellions going back as far as 1918. They've brought a lot of the population together, promoting cultural identity and the like. They're passionate, but ultimately farmers with guns. They don't stand a chance against the military, surely. Their dream of Haiti run by Haitians will remain forever that, a dream. I checked with the warehouse this evening. The first shipment of weapons has arrived on time. Meeting tomorrow to arrange payment and collection. Telegrammed father to let him know everything is on track. Saturday, October 4th, 1930. Met with the liaison at the U.S. Embassy. Transfer went ahead as planned, and they took collection on time. Told them I was going to spend a few days in town to see the sights. Father's contact, Senegal, is reputed to have contact with many other cacao cells across the country. If we can get him on our side, he may allow me to open negotiations with them directly. Being a tourist for a few days will help pass the time until he's ready to see me. Fingers crossed. Monday, October 6th, 1930. The second shipment arrived as planned. It's being held at the other import-export warehouse until I've made contact with Senegal. I wish he'd hurry up and arrange a meeting already. Wandered around a lot of the city today, past the Grand Cemetery, grave robbery activity in progress. Seems like bones are powerful tools in voodoo. Makes me wonder what the price difference is between guns and femurs. Later went to the iron market, the stench, rotting fruit, raw meat, and more pickpockets than I could count. Nothing lost, though, apart from my sense of smell by the end. Tuesday, October 7th. Now I know why Senegal is being cautious. The O and I keep keeping a close eye on me, trying to be subtle, but they aren't very good at it. Word must have got to them about the second shipment and suspicious of one. They're wondering is I'm hanging around to make another deal. Continued the tourist ruse, visited Notre Dame Catholic Church Cathedral, pretty impressive. Then the Palais National looks just like the White House. Trailed throughout. I wonder what will happen if I head out to the seedier parts of town, out to the southeast. Far less whites out there. I can handle myself, but the O and I would surely realize that they'd stick out like a sore thumb and drop the surveillance. I'll give it a try. Hopefully Senegal will make contact tomorrow and we can have a profitable meeting. The sooner I'm out of Haiti, the better.
And that is the last entry.
7. Well, I guess we know now why I was here. My fault.
Yeah.
The seedier parts of town, what does that mean?
I don't know, but what I take from it is this. I mean, Senegal is. I mean, he was trying to talk to Senegal as well, and I mean, the Senegal has a lot of information, and I mean, hopefully he contacts us because I think that's. I don't know that we're going to get much further without him. I mean, we can wander these places that he's been, but I don't know that we're going to find anything. I mean, it seems like he was genuinely just being a tourist for a while until he got seemingly, I guess he got, I don't know, with this meeting with Senegal, maybe he got pulled into something else.
Well, Senegal would definitely know. I mean, if they had the meeting, we don't know unless we talk to him.
Yeah.
Maybe he never met up with him.
Maybe he went to those cultists instead, just trying to get rid of
Well,
them.
he wouldn't have known about the cultists.
Well, he wouldn't have known they
just
were
trying to
cultists. He
lose
just
O
thought
and
they were another
I.
group. Yeah, he might have thought they were another group. Or something.
Oh, Jack,
But
why
with,
would you do this all alone?
Mm.
Go to a terrible part of town. Oh, I thought Jack was smarter than that, Daddy. I really did.
Yeah.
He couldn't have known that there was a cult with supernatural abilities at work in this
Yeah, I
town.
don't think that's not something that he would have
No.
considered in his wildest dreams.
Well,
I
maybe
don't
not a
think it's
cult, but
to
surely if he's
follow
going to a
that path.
seedy part of town, it's probably full of crime, not a place one like us should be.
It's probably how he got in trouble and mixed up in all this, but I don't recommend us going. Hopefully Senegal will get a hold of us somehow. Madam Josephine had she knows where we're staying at the Olafson, and
Well, Daddy had said that Senegal was your contact. Maybe you had a telegram sent to him from this hotel. I don't
don't
know.
remember. I do not remember. It's like since we woke up, it's the first time I ever heard his name. Anything with Haiti, any of this. Everything in his journal about this, the arms deal, the Navy. I know it's got to be real, but I don't remember setting any of that up.
Well, I know that none of us really can remember anything from before, but maybe the concierge downstairs can maybe they keep records of things that they've sent out, and we can get an address or something where it went.
Maybe. Hearing it, it's my son's words, and just hearing it, not knowing about it, it's just so horrible. I'm so ashamed right now. I don't know. It's my own fault. My own son in danger.
Well, if Jack was correct that One is keeping a watch on us, they're keeping a watch on the hotel. Mr. Senegal wouldn't necessarily want to have anyone come here to meet us. Mr. Sterling, do you remember if we had any kind of standard operating procedure that we did with him? Did we put something in the window to indicate we would meet him somewhere else?
The warehouse, Larrabee's. He can help get us a way to talk with Senegal, I bet.
All right.
I think we should start there because I don't think Senegal is going to come marching into the Olafson Hotel and knock on the door.
No, but he might give us some kind of signal. I'll just look out the window.
Leave us a message. He could leave us a message. That's true.
Oh, yeah, you look out the window. Sean, do a spot hidden.
Yep. Regular success. I'm sure I see the Oni guys in their uniforms, but
The O&I guys are across the street. Yeah, that's what you see.
Yeah.
Maybe not the same ones, but definitely they're
well,
still
they do let them go home, I'm sure.
Well, the U.S. has battleships like in Haiti, right? I would imagine if the Navy's there.
You know what? I'm not exactly. I don't have the information on that, but you're
We'll have
probably
something there.
I think technically the occupation is the Marines.
But they would have a naval, like a ship support.
Yeah, the Office of Naval Intelligence.
I was wondering, maybe we can throw them off the trail, feed them some different information about this other group, the cultists. Maybe
there is one other.
We can get coordinates, and maybe they can from the battleships.
Actually, there is one other possibility, sir. We could encourage them to think that the revolutionaries are going to be where the cultists, if we can convince them to use their gunboats to fire on the position. That would be very dangerous for us, but I'm sure very few things could survive the U.S. Navy's gunships shooting at them.
These star pools, especially if we could get the coordinates for them, we could, give them the Navy and let them know this is where they're going to be. This is one of the worst terror. They're not even revolutionaries; they're terrorists. Just whatever we got to say, but make it look like the cultists are the real.
No, make it look like revolutionaries. They're not going to care about a cult. They're going to care about revolutionaries.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they have Jack and they shoot their guns at them, Jack will be killed.
I think Jack's already dead.
The odds that he survived this long are very low, miss.
But we don't know that. Why would they kill him?
I know. We're going to find
Why
out.
do evil cults kill anybody?
I don't understand why they would take him in the first place. He's nobody to them.
Unanswered questions, but
maybe he was just in the wrong place in the wrong time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we do what we need to do, and then have the Navy afterwards bomb those star pools. Those things need to be destroyed.
I think we should just talk to Senegal first before we make any decisions about bombing anything.
We do need to hear from Senegal, but I don't think he's gonna, with the O&I sitting up there. We got to find another way. It might be through Larrabee warehouse.
Did Miss Josephine said Senegal would contact us at a certain point, or what did she say?
I think that she said that she would talk to him about you. And she asked where you were staying. So
Maybe she's the one who will come with the message.
Possibly.
Maybe Don and I can use our charms again to scare those O&I guys off like last time.
Yes, we could. We could go out there, just nonchalantly. Maybe ask them if they want some coffee.
That seemed to work last time, so and that would give Senegal or whoever he sends a window to approach us.
I think that's a great idea.
All right. So is that what you want to do? The ladies are going to go out
and scare off the men.
I mean, if we don't have anything better, then yes.
And what are the rest of you going to do?
I'm going to wait see if I get any kind of message from the concierge, or if Madame Josephine comes with a message from Senegal. He's not going to come here directly, though.
The detectives might be able to find people that are greater subtlety than the U.S. Navy at watching the place. Maybe they could spot one of Senegal's men or something. Do you think you guys would be able to pick them out? You looked.
I mean, we can go outside and take a look, and or see if there's anything we can do about this O&I issue. So
yeah, we can definitely, I guess, be seen. I think we're pretty easy to spot, considering she probably said some white people, so probably stick out pretty easily.
Let us go talk to the O&I guys first. I have an idea there.
Sure.
I think maybe we can get them to back off. So.
Okay.
I mean, you haven't eaten breakfast yet.
Oh, yeah. Let's eat first.
I mean, you can do it while it's downstairs. They're across the street.
Yeah. So,
all right. So let's assume then that you all end up going down to get your meal. You can't help, though, but notice, almost even more pronounced today, that people are wary of you. The concierge seems nervous as you go by. The waiter in the restaurant seems nervous. I mean, they still do their jobs, but you feel like everybody's looking at you. People on the street are glancing in your direction. It really feels like you're under observation. And of course, the O&I guys are watching you.
So is it like they're like people that we've never seen before are looking at us with? You said it's people on the street, so does that mean like?
Well, you're seeing mostly the same people you've seen each day because they work around here and things like that. But it's not just Haitians. It's some white people are looking at you that way too.
Really?
Daddy, why is everyone staring at us strangely?
I don't know. It must have something to do with what's going on when we're having these blackouts. I wish we could figure out what that was, whether we're being mounted by Loa, whether we're just not ourselves.
Or if we look like we're covered in blood, even though we're not.
Too.
I wonder if the O&I people see that or not. Be sort of curious.
I wonder if the O&I people see the people looking at us. That'd be interesting to know.
Now, Keeper, in our dreams, we had scratches on our hands. If I look
No,
down at my
you
hands,
don't.
I don't. Okay.
No. Just James has
Okay.
the
This place
wounds
has
that he's
good quality silverware, right? Because of the
sure.
restaurant. I'll just
Yeah.
try looking in my knife just to see if my reflection looks unusual in the silver.
No, looks like you. I mean, distorted because of the silverware, but
Does anybody else's reflection look odd?
no.
Okay.
I think a good question is if the O&I guys are giving us this odd look or if they're just observing.
Do a psychology roll.
21. That's definitely a hit.
Well, no.
Yeah.
No, they're not, but you can surmise that they have a lot of self-discipline. So they don't give anything away. They're not giggling with each other or anything like that. They're sitting there drinking their coffee and observing, but they seem like they're trying very hard not to give any indication of what they're doing.
I'm gonna walk over.
And failing.
Well, no, they're succeeding in that, but you guess that's why.
Yeah, okay.
They're not, their faces are not animated like normal
Just
people
if they
should
were
be.
watching us, or if they're watching us like they are, I mean, if we're doing anything odd, we're not ourselves or losing time, they'd be aware of that at some point. You would think. I don't know.
So, Dirk, you're getting up.
Yep.
Oh, am I?
Okay. So Dirk and Guy, you start across the street, and as soon as you start walking, and they are aware you're coming in their direction, you can tell they kind of tense up a little bit.
Yep. They don't leave though, do they?
No,
Okay.
but you can tell they're putting on their poker face, I guess.
Yeah. Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
So to the point, we've talked with the major, name I can't find.
Medwin.
Medwin. We've met with Mr. Medwin. We know why you're hailing here. So just kind of to say it bluntly, you're not going to catch Mr. Sterling doing it the way you're doing. You're very obvious. I mean, it's we see you every day. So I think a better plan would be, because again, we've met with Major Medwin, is you let us handle Sterling and surveilling him. He trusts us. We're with him. And you all just kind of back off. He's more likely to, if he's dealing to both sides, do that with people he trusts instead of trying to do it under the nose of, a tail the whole time.
Sir, not to argue with you, but we're under orders. We have to do what we're told to do.
I understand. Then I can call Major Medwin and discuss it with him then.
Call him all you want.
No, yeah. I mean, that's not a threat. I'm just saying that's the chain of command I need to go to. So that's what I'll do.
If Major Medwin tells us to do something else, then we'll do something else.
Okay. Then I think that is probably the route I need to take.
At this
And
point,
they just
I kind of want to. I don't know if this will make a difference or if not, then I won't. But I want to kind of like talk to him about maybe you were told by Major Medwin that to assist us if we needed any help. That's what the major told us that he was gonna. He told you that you guys would be there to help us if we needed it. I want to go talk to the concierge, and I want one of you guys or both of you to come with me and basically observe and report and tell me everything that is said because I have a tendency to lose time whenever I talk to this guy. And I know it sounds weird, but I'll give you guys each $10. $10 each.
Are you feeling all right?
No, not at all. I think I'm trying to give you guys money just to come with me and listen, and then you guys got to tell me what is said, or if I start acting weird. This is important.
Sir, if you need assistance, we can arrange that for you.
No,
But we
I'm
are
arranging.
currently on orders.
Did Major Medwood tell you to help us, assist us if we ask for assistance?
He told us to stay here and observe.
Because Major Medwin told us that you guys were here to help
You
us.
can call Major Medwin, and he can help you in some way.
You guys needed to help me, but I guess not. And the $10 is rescinded. It's an exploding offer. Done. Put the money back in my pocket and walk away.
I'm now heading to the phone.
I'm following him. Like I start walking back to the thing, and then I turn around and follow Dirk. Like,
all right. So you guys are heading towards the phone. Back to the rest of you sitting at the table. The waiter comes over to you with the bill, and he places it down. Now you've already seen what the bills look like. He puts the bill down in front of you, and he sort of gives you an odd look, but he taps the top of the bill, and you can see that there is a piece of paper underneath the bill. Right. And he walks away,
I'll pick up the bill because I handle the accounting with the paper, and I'll make sure I, concealedly take whatever it is, slip it into my coat, and then, write whatever I need to write on it or present it back for the payment.
Okay.
And then we'll look at it when we get inside. Actually, I suppose, can I look at under the table and see if there's something that we can do right now?
Yeah, it's a piece of paper with writing on it. Here's what it looks like.
Boulevard La Saline, 9:30 p.m. Once there, get off the main street. Let no one follow you. We will be watching. The trail is Death SS, which is presumably Senegal and whatever his last initial stands for.
Well, and as you're sitting there, you're noticing Dirk and Guy heading back towards the hotel's lobby.
I'll try to give them a look to say like we've gotten your information, but I'm not going to try to be too outlandish. Or like, gentlemen, we need to settle the bill.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll detour over to the table, reach for my wallet because I feel like I have to settle my part.
Okay, and I'll show them the piece of paper under the table there or whatever so they can see.
Okay. Well, good. That's okay. I guess we don't have to worry about the O&I tail then now, as long as they don't tail us that far.
Well, we have to lose them if they do. Whatever that entails.
They think the O&I is involved. They're not going to talk to us. They'll probably kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying out loud. I probably still need to make a call to Medlin.
Yeah, kind of hush thing. Yeah, whispering.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did you still want to go make the call?
Yeah, I want to make sure these guys, or try to make sure they don't tail us at the meeting time. Have we seen them at night?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'm gonna call.
I mean, not late at night, but
yeah. I guess I'm going to call and try to see if I can get the kind of the same story. We're going to do a lot better without a tail than.
Well, I mean, you could do an intelligence roll, but I don't think you need to. I mean, this is a hotel, so there's not just one door, There's
Yeah.
back entrances, there's side entrances, there's all sorts of other things. And they can really only see the front of it from where they are.
Yeah, there's only ever been two of them, I guess. So we can be sneaky at 9:30. That's probably close to the time they'll be done watching anyways. They'll probably figure we're going to bed.
Don and Amy, did you still want to do something, or have you changed your mind about that?
Well, it seems like Dirk has it handled, at least
Right.
for me.
Yeah. At this point, we're just kind of waiting to see what entails from their conversation with the military and what my father's going to decide that we should do next.
Should
Yeah,
somebody go
although-
to Labate, should someone go to the Labate imports and see or just talk to the guy about being on standby with the guns?
That's a good idea. I'll go and let them know that we've got a deal coming up soon, and then just to be ready to ship, and then we'll send them more information later, so he doesn't throw things into the harbor or whatever his plan was.
And today's the first day of Fat Getty, right?
Yep.
So
That is correct, yes.
So it's the 31st or the 1st?
I think it's the first now. Yes.
Okay, November 1st.
Yeah.
So you do definitely see what you'd expect, you've already noticed the sort of migration of people going to church in the morning, and then after that, but now many of them are going into the cemeteries. It's almost a party atmosphere.
and easy to lose your tail in a crowd. So
Well, it would be easy if we were willing to dress up, but that might not work so well for us.
yeah, because I was
Right.
thinking about like
We
going
stand
out
out
in a
like
top-
we stand out like tourists.
paint my face white, take a top hat, but
Mhm.
I don't think I could get away with it. I have some points in disguise, but not too much.
So Dirk, okay, are we still doing the phone? We'll do the phone, or no?
No, I think we're going to be sneaky instead.
Okay, gonna be sneaky. Sean,
Mhm.
as you start towards Labadee imports,
Mhm.
you do notice that the O&I guys get up, but they start to tail you.
Okay. Well, it's not the first time I've been tailed in my life. Might as well make them earn their keep and lose them. If I can. What skill would that be?
That would be stealth.
Let's see if I got some. Yep, I have a reasonable amount. Okay, let me try that. Barely a success. Is that good enough?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, they seem to be following you at a distance, keeping their eye on you. But if you duck in somewhere and go out the back door and duck in somewhere else, very quickly you lose them
Okay.
to their frustration. So you head back over to Labadee Imports, where you've already been once, and it looks the same, pretty much the same as it did before. It's just a business, and you can see, what the hell was his name? Labadee Imports, Francis Metro, standing there doing, writing in paper, telling people to move stuff.
Yep.
and
I'll
all of that.
come over to the side and look at Mr. Metro like we need to talk.
He says, yeah.
Yep.
What can I do for you?
Well, I think we're going to have that little collection that we wanted to sell just about ready to go, and I think you'll be very happy that it's sold and you'll get your cut. If you can be ready to have it to move in the next day or so.
Well, I don't move stuff. Somebody will have to come and get it.
All right. Well, then we'll arrange to have someone come and get it. And as I said, Tom, I'm not a practiced gun runner, so I don't know how these tricks work, but maybe there's a call sign that we give the person who comes to get it. So we tell this guy what the word is and blah, blah, blah. There's probably some kind of thing that we do.
Well, look, you're going to have to be pretty careful because
Mhm.
uh, I think that Owen I suspects something.
Mhm.
Uh, we're not the only port in town,
No, of
so
course not.
um, none of them have actually served any kind of warrant or coming in to look at our stuff.
Right.
And your stuff is all marked farm equipment.
Of course.
Um,
Well,
but
if we have
I
someone
can't tell
show
you
up,
that they haven't been snooping around.
of course
So
not.
I
Well, if
don't
we
think
have
they know
someone
this
show
is
up in
here.
Yeah, okay. If we have someone show up in a cart who looks like a farmer who wants to pick up their farm machinery and we're not involved, that shouldn't create too much notice.
You might find a way to do it. All right. Because look, this can't go on much longer.
Yeah, we're going to
Get
have
rid
it
of
in the next
this.
day or so. Yep. He'll be very
All
happy
right.
with the results.
Cool. Um, how about the rest of you? What are you guys? Are you just going to stay there? Or are you going to go do something? Or
I think Amy and I are gonna go back to the hotel and we want to ask the concierge if they do keep any records for telephone calls or telegrams being sent out, particularly for Jack.
he tells you they don't. They don't. The customer, the hotel guests' business is their own. They don't keep any track of it.
Yeah,
Well, Amy,
then
that was a bust.
Do we have any idea of where these like star pools could possibly be, or the cultists could possibly be? It's just
in a hidden
Northview.
valley in the hills.
And
and
I don't know if it was in the information I gave you on Haiti, but other than Port-au-Prince, which is fairly flat and right on the water,
Mhm.
the whole country is hills and
Do we remember
mountains.
where we know how to get to the base, and they said they found us and we were brought to the base, right? So
They
Is
said you
there
were wandering around in the hills.
is there any place that sells maps?
Sure.
Okay, I'll go get us some good quality maps then. I'll bring them back to
They're not that
to the
good
hotel.
quality, but they're basically downtown.
Oh, I'm hoping
You
for
know,
something in the area, like a geographical society office or something.
it's not that well developed a country. I've got this that shows you uh, the country in general,
Yeah, hold on.
which is
Yeah.
Where are we on this? Hold on a second.
Port-au-Prince right here in the little crook.
Right. And the place that Madame Josephine described, the hillside with the cultists, where did we say that was?
You're not sure. It could be anywhere. The whole country is hills.
Right. Well, it can't be too far away because presumably we traveled on foot, or did we rent a vehicle? Is
There
there
wouldn't
a
be
is
vehicles
there
going up.
is there a university that might have that kind of maps that maybe I could pay
No,
somebody to mimeograph? No? Okay.
There's no university in Port-au-Prince.
They might have one, but okay, I guess they
not
don't have
yet.
anything. Not yet. Okay.
I remember Madame Josephine told us not to go early,
Yeah.
but it would be not good to have a general idea where we're going.
Oh, actually, our detective gentleman might be able to help us if we can figure out a way to do this. The Navy will have good quality maps. If you can find any excuse to get one from them, that might be handy, especially if we have to feed them coordinates where to start doing shelling later on. You think you'd be able to get that out of them?
maybe we could visit Medwin, Major Medwin, and get information on maybe where we were found.
That would be a help too. Yeah.
Hopefully maybe parlay that into a like you said, like potentially giving them some idea of where to shell. I don't know how we would broach it because of who we're going to be working with. I don't want to tip our hand too much,
Mhm.
especially considering what we're facing in reality as far as the treason
Yeah.
part of
Yeah.
the Senegal.
Well, getting a bunch of revolutionaries shelled would probably clear gentlemen of any suspicion. So, I mean, whatever you can weasel out of them carefully.
I'm curious to see how you could convince the military
I don't know.
to
That's
shell
not.
the island. They're
I have
protecting
no
it.
clue. No clue. But
could we-
if they're eager to kill revolutionaries, who knows what they'd be willing to do?
Could we take a quick bio break? I have to go to
Sure.
the bathroom. All right,
Sounds
thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
What did we want to do? Do we want to do anything, or do we want to move ahead to tonight?
I want to see if I can get some scarves or something in the colors of that people are wearing, so I don't stick out too much.
We'll say then that the ladies managed to visit either the Iron Market or some shops and get some appropriate clothing. Dress more in white with purple. And yeah, that works.
Yeah, it just has to be for a distance, right? So
Yeah, it would help for a distance. You're right.
I'd like to offer the extra gun I have that I got because I got 2 guns from the room. Offer one to Dirk, and also just kind of I guess check my guns, clean them, make sure I have ammo ready. I'll still want to carry around the broken down shotgun in a bag.
James has got to look at his 45 and just, I guess he recognized it because it came from our stash, but you'll get that ready. The amulet that he has it's under his shirt now. I think he's gonna just keep dressing very informally,
It's too hot to dress in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just I've got the cabana shirt, some nice khakis or something maybe darker, like hat wise, just to have and boat shoes or whatever, and for the 9:30 meeting. But does nothing flashy. Doesn't want to stick out anyway. Gun concealed, and the amulet beneath his shirt now.
Did we want to try the newspaper to see if we could find anything? Maybe they know exactly the location where this incident happened.
we could definitely try.
Okay.
See.
These all sound like things that can use up some time during the day. So without going into a whole scene on that, you get to the Haiti Progress, the newspaper, and the writer of the article was a Eugene Vallier, and they tell you that he is on leave currently. So he's not there to answer questions. So that ends up being a dead lead.
Cultist.
Could be.
Shoot.
All right. So you can see that in the cemetery, as the sun's starting to go down, that the festivities increase, and there's music and there's dancing, and you see a few examples of what you've been reading about, people seeming to become possessed by Loa. They seem to act often in a very provocative and sort of sexual way. And it's a little disconcerting because people move in really odd ways when they're doing this that almost seem unnatural. And oftentimes their eyes will roll up into their heads while they're doing this. So you see various other, I guess, priestesses and priests. But the whole thing is sort of a cacophony of stuff that's going on. I'll just assume that you guys managed to sneak out of your hotel. Maybe you go through the back door, or you a little bit through parts of the underbrush and stuff. You make sure that nobody's following you. So as 9:30 is approaching, you are walking down page. You're walking down the Boulevard La Saline. It's almost all warehouses on one side. They're all very plain. They're all very much look the same as all the other warehouses. You're on the main thoroughfare, but eventually you get there, and there's you don't see people around. They're partying right now. There are little alleys between the warehouses, and if you wanted to get off the main thoroughfare, that's where you would go. So you start to work your way into the warehouse area, and it starts to feel like a smaller and tighter version of that horrible labyrinth that you were in. The buildings are tall. In this case, the spaces in between them are only about 10 or 15 feet, not large, but quite unnerving. And it's fairly quiet, except you can hear the din of the partying going on farther away. And as you round a corner, you suddenly become aware that at one end of a long alley, there are two gentlemen, and they are approaching you. They're Haitian, and they've both got rifles in their hands. And you're not sure if they're making it clear, but obviously this area is protected, but they're not stopping you from coming towards them.
Okay.
They're younger guys. They look like they're maybe in their early 20s. They sort of give you the look up and down, as you come there. And then
How are they dressed?
They're dressed in fairly dark clothing, so that they stay in the shadows. And they give you sort of an indication to follow them.
Yeah.
And after a little more of the maze going there, you come to a warehouse, and you can see from the outside of it, your guess is that they have, it's a warehouse with flour and rice and various commodities like that, though it doesn't look like it's really in much use anymore. And one of the black guys opens up the door and motions for you to go inside, and the other one's standing there. Inside, it's a fairly large warehouse. It's wooden. It's not in great shape. You can see boxes and bags and things like that here and there. Not as much as you would think for a big warehouse. It's obviously not. It's trappings. It's the trappings of a warehouse. The floorboards are wooden, and why don't I'll say Sean, Dirk, and Guy, you can make a spot hidden roll.
Regular
Hard success. Hard success.
Yeah,
Fail.
just regular.
Well, Dirk, you notice this, but Sean, you recognize it. And that's that it looks like a lot of the areas of floorboards could be easily pulled up, and you could hide all sorts of things underneath it, weapons or whatever.
Farm machinery. Yep.
There are a number of doors probably going to offices and stuff like that. And at the far end, there is a man standing there, a Haitian gentleman, and there are two men on either side of him, also with rifles. And as you approach, he gives you the look up and down, and he says, "All right, what are you here for? I know Mama Josephine mentioned you, but what do you want of me?"
Well, Mr. Senegal, I believe we have a common enemy, and we're hoping you could help us with this situation. And then I explained the
I'm
cult.
I'm I'm not exactly in the business of helping you.
Well, we can
Where
perhaps help you in exchange.
how
All right, well, I'll just put it bluntly. This cult that you've been dealing with that you don't
the,
like, the cult of the floating horror that,
I'm not interested in a cult. I'm talking about where's the shipment? I've been waiting for a week and a half.
we have your shipment.
Well, I was supposed to
Well,
be,
well,
I was
here's,
contacted and there was supposed to be a meeting and there wasn't
yes, my
anything.
son was kidnapped by that cult. He was supposed to close the deal with you. Listen to my proposal. This cult, and I know you've had run-ins with them. Well, we believe that,
Well, so
well, we know
Tom,
that
does this guy fit Mr. Senegal's description? Because wasn't he like a wounded guy or injured or have all kinds of some kind of physical ailments?
I don't know. You were told that he had been uh, attacked by the cult, but I mean, he looks more or less like any other stranger. He's Haitian,
Well,
but he's
and also,
obviously in charge because the others are
well,
sort of on either side of him.
doesn't he also know Mr. Sterling? This guy's acting kind of distant.
know my son. I don't know if he knows me.
Oh, I see. Okay. I think,
Yeah. Well, what I'm proposing is the price that we agreed on. I'll give you the weapons for free if you can help us with our situation, this cult. You know who I'm talking
You're
I'm
you're
sure Madam
talking.
Josephine told you. And no,
Look,
they're horrified. But the six of us have been standing up to them as best we can over the last couple of days, trying to get my son back, find out what's going on. I think we can help each other.
look, you're talking about an extremely dangerous group,
Oh, I know.
and quite honestly, guns aren't going to help you. Uh, their leader, he looks around. He's like, their leader, King Kaleko, is a Bokor, a very powerful one. He can summon deadly magic.
Well,
Um,
you let us handle
I
that
know,
part.
I know that Mama Josephine wants them gone. We all want them gone. Everybody wants them gone. But an army of an army wouldn't be able to do it. Not faced up against that man's
If you can handle the
magic.
rank and file, we we have been preparing. We can take care of the more, shall we say, supernatural elements of this situation. We need you just there to take care, like get the rank and file people out of our way, the regular, I don't know what you call them in French, but the average Joe that's a cultist with them. And that we will handle the more supernatural things involving this before.
Like I don't think you know what you're asking. I don't think that you have any clue what you're talking about. This isn't something that you can just go shoot. I
But
wouldn't send my men up there for.
you know Madame Josephine, and you know what she knows and what she's capable of doing. Well, she's been preparing us, and we've been working with her.
Mama Josephine's a religious woman. She has her ideas, but I have a bunch of people that I need to worry about. This is about our revolution. And
You're not going to have a revolution if this cult gets what it wants in the next couple of days. We all will have nothing. Sometimes you're going to have a revolution. Sometimes you got to stand. You got to stand up. There's a time and a place. James is doing his whole salesman routine. Not as intimidate as much as, not even his fast talk. He is just appealing to that, like, If you're going to say you're a revolutionary, well, sometimes you got to take the first shot.
Look,
Are
come with me.
I was going to ask, are everybody else in town has been giving us the wonky eye, like something's wrong with us. Are any of the people in this group looking at us strangely?
I can't really tell. Uh, Senegal seems somewhat agitated at this. Um, Obviously, his focus is in a different direction, but he says to you, he sort of motions, maybe giving a little signal to one of his men, and he says to you, you know, I think I know better what's going on here than you do. I mean, this is my island. You're invaders. Uh, Come, I want to show you something. And he starts walking towards one of his offices. Well, one of the other doors. And the two men with the guns, they sort of motion a little behind you to make sure you're
Mhm.
going in that direction. Um, he opens up the door. It is an office. Looks like he keeps paperwork and stuff here. You can see almost immediately that there is a large safe that he's got in the room. Um, he goes around his desk and he sits down as you come in, and he motions like there. And when you turn around, uh, this is what you see sitting on a shelf.
Oh, yeah.
He says, I'd like you to meet my brother, Miguel, or at least what's left of him.
Mm.
He was captured by that same cult, and this is what they did to him.
They're doing the same thing to my son right now. They haven't
Your son's
already.
already lost than you.
But we need to end this. Dead or alive, my son, we need to end this. You're not going to have a free Haiti. You're not going to have a revolution if they are allowed to continue. All I'm asking is that you're providing backup for us. We'll handle this doesn't even shock us. We already know about what they can do.
But then what could you possibly you need to convince me that you can handle this, and all you talk about is guns. Guns won't work. If guns worked, we would have taken care of this a long time ago.
Mr. Sterling, maybe you should show them.
I'm going to show him my palm with the scales. It's not affecting me. The same thing that was done. Because I'm working with Madame Josephine and my family and friends here.
He immediately grabs the guy next to him and makes him leave the room. Okay. Now you are completely involved in this. You don't have any choice anymore. Look, I can spare a couple of my men to get you up to the star pools, but they're not going to go all the way. They're going to stay quite a distance. They'll put you on the right path. And Mama Josephine said that she's going to wait for you down at I know the clearing she meant. I can have my men there waiting to, if you succeed, we can pick off some of the stragglers. But I mean, you've really gotten yourself into it now. But you're going to need something. You need something more than guns. You need something more than
Do you
Mom.
know anything about a tall, handsome Arabic man? He went to Mama Josephine. Daddy said that he gave him a card to give to us. Maybe he can help too. Maybe he's been giving us clues this whole time.
I'm guessing that you've already encountered something and it's done this to you. I mean, I
At,
can't think of anything
at
else I
this
can
point,
do.
I speak up and I tell them about how we woke up in the hospital, how people have been reacting to us, the lost time and everything. And I say, and you keep saying that we need something more. Do you know what that more is and where we can find
Yes,
it?
you need something dark and magical. You need to fight fire with fire. King Kaleko is a very powerful Bokor, and he gets all of his power from the Baka. Now,
So
Mama Josephine would kill me if I told you that you need to go along that path, but I don't see any way around it.
Mama
You
Josephine
need,
actually told us something very
She
similar.
gave
And
us she gave us that. If we couldn't find another alternative, she gave that to us, a spell to contact the Baka and to bargain with them. That's our last resort, but
things are,
we're getting to the point where. But I do have this, and I'm going to show him the stone. This is the stone that that I was cut with, that my son was
no,
cut with, that
no,
your brother was
no,
cut with.
no.
I have it, and it allows me access to them without them suspecting, because I think I'm one
You
of them.
need, you need to not let them get a hold of that stone.
Oh, they won't.
Um, Look, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you in as far as I said that I'm going to help. You said you have guns. We were trying to make a deal, but the O and I have been snooping around everywhere, and I don't know where your guns are, or you're probably in a port somewhere. Um, I just
On it,
don't
we
know that
can.
we can move and get to them, but that doesn't matter. I
Well, the O and
have
I doesn't.
weapons.
Yeah,
I
the O
have
and I,
weapons.
the O and I doesn't know we're here. They don't know where the guns are. Uh,
I hope
you would just
no.
have to. We would just have to set it up. Get some farmers that can collect it. It's all marked as farm equipment. We'll let you know where it is so you can pick it up. You won't even, we won't, you, they don't have to see you. They don't have to see us. They'll just think it's business as usual down by the port.
You're going to have to do all of this tomorrow. And
Mm.
it's midnight when they will hold their sacrifice tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 4-hour walk up there.
Look it up right now. They will be ready to go.
So we can meet you at that clearing. Let's say it's 6 o'clock and you can start up. But you got to be careful. There will be cultists migrating in that direction, going up that way. Them you can kill with your guns, but you need to be careful. You need to be, stealthy. Other than that, I don't know what I can do for you. That's as far as I can help.
If you can do that for us, it's extremely helpful. Let us handle taking out this Bokor.
I can't warn you enough how powerful he is. You'll need some very, very powerful magic.
Well, we have that. At our disposal, we have that.
If you need weapons, tell me now. I can get you anything you need.
armed, but
It doesn't hurt to have extra firearms on our person.
it wouldn't hurt
He
to have rifles, maybe.
he yells a name out, and the two guys come back in. He says, give them, if they need something, give him anything that he needs. Oh, these are very hard times.
Do they have anything like an M1 Garand or anything like that? Something like a long rifle that'd be great.
I don't know. Nothing's going to be really that high grade. Or probably has a couple of Thompson machine guns though.
There you go. Doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Realize too that firing guns up in the mountains, it's going to echo. The people are going to know something's going on.
We want something, not to do that too much. Good fallback thing.
He says, well, that's all I can do for you. So he gets up and joins his men and starts to walk you out. This is going to be, I hope you succeed.
We need to, this is the battle. This is the battle that wins the war. So our destiny's already set. We're on that path, win or lose.
But Daddy, we're not soldiers. There's just us and maybe a few of them against who knows how many.
We're
We're
not
not
soldiers.
magicians either.
We're not soldiers
not-
by choice.
Does anyone have a
We are given that position. And maybe we're going to have to be given the position of being magicians as well.
Yeah, I was going to say we're not magicians, Donna, but we just have to do something.
I'd like you all to do do a spot hidden for.
Oh yeah, extreme.
Extreme.
Yeah.
Just a regular.
87.
Regular.
It's during this exchange, and granted, as I'm telling you this, you're not focused on it. You're focused on Senegal, but you notice it out of the corner of your eye or whatever. One of his men next to him gets an odd sort of smile on his face, and then actually visibly giggles just a little bit. And as he does, Senegal turns to him and says, "Stop." He says, this is what comes of terrible trauma. You and just at the glance, the guy straightens back up again. He says, you have seen terrible things, and we understand. I had to kill my own brother, and they attacked me. If they find out you have that stone, they'll go to no lengths to destroy you. If they found out that Mama Josephine had that stone, they'd kill her too. So be careful.
Can we attempt a psychology roll to see if that was something elicited from trauma?
Do a psychology. Why not?
Okay. It's not great, but what did I? Two. Yeah, extreme. Sweet.
Wow.
Right?
Well, what's odd is you got the distinct impression that the right-hand guy thought something was funny.
Yeah.
And Senegal shut him up right away, and looked quite offended that the guy had giggled. It's like we're in a serious business meeting at the moment. Pull yourself together. Like I say, they're younger men. But at that point, Senegal kind of is dismissing you.
Okay.
One of my men will show you out of the maze.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd suggest you use just as much stealth getting back so that the O&I don't notice you or figure out where you're coming from.
Arrange to have one of those Thompson guns brought tomorrow whenever we meet up.
Sure.
Okay. Just something in case everything goes south, we're at least a little more prepared. So.
Do they have shotguns as well? I would like shotgun.
Sure. Yeah. It actually gives me a list of things they have, but you can assume it says they got Springfield rifles, they've got 38 revolvers, they've got 3 Thompson machine guns, and they've got plenty of knives and machetes. If you need one. It is the jungle, so you might.
You're gonna need the machete.
Yeah, machetes are a good idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm already carrying a couple handguns, so that's probably all I need as far as weaponry, unless things are going terrible. Then, but yeah.
So, gentlemen and ladies, since tonight is our last night before we have to deal with this, we should seriously consider whether beforehand we're going to deal with upping our magical armaments, as it were. We have to make a decision whether we choose that ritual ahead of time, maybe. We might not get a chance to do it in the field.
I would say if we're going to, then tonight would probably be the night.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
I don't think we have a choice.
I think we have. I think we need to. I think we may need to do it.
You guys have left and you're back.
Yeah.
We I mean, Madame Josephine said that she gave it to us. She wouldn't have given it to us. I know she didn't want it as an option if she didn't, but she knows it's an option. I took the other deal too.
The situation is.
It's very dire. I mean,
but what does it mean? What is this thing that you're talking about doing? It sounds evil.
It is not what we're doing, but who we'd be dealing with. We're doing it for the right purpose. We would be contacting the Baka, the evil Loa, and making a deal with them because they don't understand the concept of loyalty or anything like that. They're completely alien to our way of thinking. They will turn on this Papa Creole, whatever his name was, the Bokor up there. They'll turn on him if we make the right deal, but there will be a price to pay. Well,
but why would they not turn on us if they would turn on anyone?
I'm sure they'd be amused by whatever happened. Win or lose, they're going to be amused.
We're just playthings to these.
Speaking of amused,
things.
Mr. O'Neill, I saw that you noticed that gentleman in there giggled, which I found very odd.
Yeah, I do feel sometimes like we're presenting ourselves in a way that some people know a joke that we don't, or something else, and it's very disturbing.
Well,
besides the fact that we might just be covered in blood everywhere we go.
well, I think we wouldn't have gotten a giggle out of him if that were the case at the moment.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that something's going on. If we talk to I wish we had a way to talk to the other Loa first to find out if
we tried and we didn't get anything.
Couldn't get to Baron Samidi, Baron Lacroix, or any other Loa before we turned to the evil ones, or the bad ones.
Maybe the good never offer anything.
Maybe we'll learn something if we do the spell. Maybe we've already been possessed by them. Maybe we already have done this. Well, no, probably not.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we'd be quite on the stage.
But who was this handsome man? The other fortune teller also spoke of a handsome man.
Our enemy is not of this religion, of this the voodoo or any of this. He's using them. He does this it's an ancient evil from what I can figure out. Something called the crawling chaos, the bloody tongue, and he is this three-eyed thing that we're seeing. He's not part of the Voodoo religion that the people of Haiti have. This is something far more ancient and evil, and that's our true enemy who we're going after. That's what these cultists worship. Well, he took your brother, and he's possibly may take me, but it's not. The Bakor can only help us to get past the Baku. It can only help us get past this. The Baka can only help us get past this Bakor. Because they'll turn on him and yes, you're right. They may someday turn on me or any of us, but in the moment, they probably would just let it play out because they will not go back on the bar. But the price we'll have to pay is going to be very high. What there?
We'll find out what it is.
So question, are you intending then to summon the Baka tonight?
Back at the hotel, could we do it? It has to be quiet.
I think we are.
You just need candles and darkness.
I'm sure with the rituals and things going on all over town, we could get candles very easy on the way back.
Yeah.
The things we need. And I'm looking at the spell right now. It's mostly this chant.
All right. Our players included Joe Bardalis, Carrie Marion, Kuhn Lighton, Kent Blue, Michael Ramirez, and Troy Lehman, with yours truly as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows, free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page listed in the description, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.
Yeah.